guys, welcome back to the channel. Dave from Timbertime Outdoors. In this video, I am going to show you the finer points of crimping with the Kubota MX5800 and the RPT Outdoors Goliath 8-foot crimper. So we're going to talk about some of the details that really make a difference in being able to make sure that that crimper will terminate the crop. So let's get to it, guys.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now.
All right, just a couple things about the crimper before we get into the details about it. It is kind of that final piece of our no-till process, so we have the no-till planter, we've been doing rye, we do cover crops, we do a planting in the fall. Up to this point, we've had to use Roundup to terminate crop, and there's plenty of drawbacks to that, right? You end up killing the plant, but you also kill your earthworms, and things tend to shrivel up on you. You don't get that organic matter that you're really looking for. It was kind of a process over time to be able to accumulate some of this equipment. And again, this is our final piece to the puzzle here. So super excited to have the crimper. We'll show you lots of video today of me driving it. It's actually really fun to use. And so let's get into the details here. All right, some of the details that really make a big difference with the crimper is, the first one is speed. Okay, so everybody wants to run the tractor as fast as they can possibly go and get things crimped and get things planted as fast as you can, right? Well, the thing about a crimper is you need to figure out that exact speed where you're getting that plant to lay over and you're cutting the circulatory system. And if you go too fast, what's going to happen is the crimper is going to bounce, and it's not going to get a nice clean crimp down on that plant, and so that plant it's going to lay over, but it's going to pop back up on you. So you got to go slow. Kind of the rule of thumb is about 2 to 3 miles per hour. That's pretty slow, but that's just what it takes. We're not using chemicals here, so you basically just got to put the time in on the tractor. So that is detail number one that makes a huge difference. Okay, detail number two. You can't just go crimp at any time when the plant is growing, okay? So there's a kind of a 2 week, sure, maybe 1 week window when that plant is at a stage where it can be crimped. So if you do it too soon, the plant won't be mature enough to actually cut off the circulatory system, and again, you're just gonna lay it over and it's gonna pop back up no matter how fast you go. And if you wait too long and the plant is too mature, again, it's not gonna kill the plant. It's gonna have seeds, it's gonna reseed itself. Again, it's going to lay over and it's going to resist the crimper. So what you're looking for is what they call the dough stage, okay? And it's about a 2 week window when the tassel is tasseled out and it's got kind of a milky, you kind of squeeze the seeds and you've got kind of a milky interior to that seed. So it's about a 2 week window. Here in Wisconsin, that happens between Memorial Day and about the first 10 days of June. All right, and then the last detail that matters is the actual weight of the crimper. Okay, so if you have soft soil like we do, you've got to go slow and you've got to have enough weight to make sure that you get good compression. You can fill this thing with water. We've found that we actually don't need to fill it with water, but that's something you need to pay attention to. So I do some trials, crimp some plants, and then just really look at and seeing what you're getting in terms of how it's creased. All right, guys, I'm up here at one of our ridgetop plots, and I want to talk a little bit more about how you know when the rye is ready. So we, like most people, are not professional food plotters. We do this on the weekend. We're weekend warriors, and time is sometimes overriding in terms of when you have to do stuff. So we have a free weekend right now, at least a Saturday, and we had some time to get the planting in last weekend. So, our schedule kind of dictated when we planted and when we're crimping. But to be honest, I'm going to show you here, we're a little early on the crimping process. Okay, so, just remember that hey, food plotting is not an exact science, and things are going to work out just fine here. But let me show you something here. Okay, so if you look right here, this stuff that's hanging off here, they call that antler. And that's like the first sign of the rye becoming mature. And if I try to pick this off and I try to get some of the milky dough out of here, I'm not going to get anything. Okay, so this rye is actually not ready to be crimped, at least 100%. And you know, we're crimping here in June, and this is for a cover crop, so we put like a spring blend to just basically enhance the soil. We're going to kill it again in 8 weeks. So it's not a big deal if the rye competes with that cover crop, but it's definitely not going to all get killed. You know, I think they say if you do it too soon, you're only going to kill about 75%, which for us is probably just fine here. Now my bean field, I'm going to have some competition between rye and those beans, and I also still have quite a bit of weeds there. So likely, even though we wanted to get away from Roundup, I think we're probably going to, we'll see, we'll look at it, but I think we're going to end up hitting that bean field with some Roundup. One more year at least. But yeah, I wish I was completely retired and could do this full time, and then I could certainly wait for that dough stage, but I've got some busy weekends coming up, so we had to get the rye. Ran over here with Goliath, and so anyway, so example of maybe what not to do here, but again, wait for that dough stage. That's critical step number 2. Okay, so here's a good example of about 75% kill. So you can see right here, these are all they're crimped over pretty nicely. You know, it's creased. There's a good crimp right there. You know, so it's laying over, but you can see this one here got bent over, but it didn't kill it. You know, so there's another good example of, you know, maybe not a perfect crimp. So again, we're not going to get perfect kill here. We'll get 75%, and we'll have plenty of deer. So don't get too worked up about, you know, oh, I got weeds in my food plot. Yep, weeds are bad, and they can be a huge problem, but if you have a few, just, you know, just remember it's all about the deer hunting and habitat. So perfect food plots are hard to achieve. It's always the goal, but got to learn to accept some failures. I'm trying to talk myself into it because I have a really bad case of OCD. So, but anyway, 75% is going to be good enough for us this year. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this video up. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video here of me driving the tractor and crimping, and maybe you learned a couple things about a crimper. If you don't have one, highly recommend it. You know, we used Roundup for years, and there's all kinds of drawbacks to it, right? So trying to get to a full no-till process, and the crimper is kind of that final piece. So some experimentation for us this year, but anyway, we'll wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Send it to your friends, and most importantly, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. So you guys take care. Remember, everybody, keep it in the timber.